Shalom, welcome. I'm live now. Okay, so uh this is not we're going back into Kings. Well, welcome to Servant Warriors. Shalom and a proper introduction. My name is Shelley for anybody that pops on new. Um Shali actually is the correct pronunciation. Okay, so guys, uh I've been watching Servant this man here that I'm showing you on the screen, a Hobbit Ami, for a while now, and it means for the love of my people. And I have um, been listening. He's got some books that Yeshua had him write, and I just want to say this flat out right now. It's not. This is not about the books, and a lot of times you don't make anything off the books. You don't make that much off the books, all right? Especially books that are just promoting what Father wants you to say, what He's shown you. Now, if you're doing, stuff for the sales, then it's a whole different ballgame. But if you're doing it to get it out there, just like Yeshua had us in Abraham Ojeda's book, right? To explain the Shavua of the 120th end of the cycle of the 49-year counts. So don't, people hear the word books and they flip out sometimes. All right. So anyway, it does cost quite a bit of money to get books started, and hopefully they get their money back and then some. People should get paid for their work. Um, just seek Father and Yeshua on it. Sorry for getting long winded about that. Uh, so here's the thing. This video I'm clicked on right here. The shocking date of the fall of Iran. Um, I put this in community post. I don't know if anybody's seen it. And down here, prophets on this is on the right, where I've clicked on prophecy decoded the shocking F-35 code in the coming of Mashiach. Okay, so we know Yeshua's coming quickly. So this is a believer in Yeshua. I may not have made that clear. I follow some. I listen to some once in a while that don't believe in Yeshua because uh, Judah has things sometimes that we need to learn quite often, as a matter of fact. And I don't know why my phone's making a bunch of noise. It shouldn't be doing that. I got the volume down, and now my other one's making noise. Uh, okay, so anyway, this Servant Shapiro, because I know they call themselves rabbi, but I'm not going to do that. Servant Shapiro has been given some cool stuff, and when you can check out, I'll just come back and put these links in description box. All right, and so yesterday, the whole point is this. Yesterday, and I spent hours on this yesterday. Uh, excuse me. I opened the word to Obadiah, and I opened it to verse 12 through 21. And, well, I went too far. So I opened it starting at verse 12. Okay. All right. You shouldn't have gloated over your. Really, we should just read the whole thing. This is the vision of Obadiah. Here is what Adonai Elohim says about Edom, Esau. As a messenger was being sent among the nations, saying, "Come on, let's attack her," we heard a message from Adonai. "I am making you the least of all nations. You will be beneath contempt." Okay. Your proud heart has deceived you. You whose homes are caves in the cliffs. I need to look into that. Who live on the heights and say to yourselves, "Who can bring me down to the ground?" If you make your nest as high as an eagle's, even if you place it among the stars, I will bring you down from there, says Adonai. If thieves were to come to you, or if robbers by night, oh, how destroyed you are. Wouldn't they stop when they'd stolen enough? If grape pickers came to you, wouldn't they leave some grapes for gleaning? But see how Esau has been looted, their secret treasures searched out. Your allies went with you on only to the border. Those at peace with you deceived and defeated you. Deceived and defeated you. Those who ate your food set a trap for you, and you couldn't discern it. When that day comes, says Adonai, I will destroy all the wise men of Edom and leave no discernment on Mount Esau. Your warriors, Taman, will be so distraught. I need to look up Taman. That everyone on Mount Esau will be slaughtered. For the violence done to your kinsman, Yaakov. So Esau attacking Jacob. We're all Jacob across the world. It's walking in the light in the covenant of Yeshua. But we know a lot of Judah is over in the fig tree, the land of Israel. I always make a difference when you talk about the land of Israel and the northern kingdom of Israel is not the same thing. We are we are all Jacob, and some are the southern kingdom, some are the northern kingdom. Much of the southern kingdom of Judah is still scattered here in the U.S. and lots of them in the West, Western nations, and Europe. There's Judahs everywhere. There's let's just keep going. For the violence done to your kinsman Yaakov, shame will cover you, and you will be forever cut off. On that day you stood aside while strangers carried off his treasure, and foreigners entered his gates to cast lots for Jerusalem. You were no different from them. So they didn't come to help Jacob, and they mocked and gloated. You don't gloat over your enemy's destruction. You certainly don't gloat over your brother's destruction, right? You saw Jacob. You shouldn't have gloated over your kinsmen on their day of disaster, or rejoiced over the people of Yehuda on their day of destruction. which is probably what they did on October 7th. I would say that this goes back to that. And ancient, it's been going on from the beginning, from the womb, Um, they were fighting in the womb to see which one would be born first for the birthright. And, you know, another way of looking at when um, Jacob took hold of Esau's heel was that he was holding his hand up to protect him from Esau kicking him in the head. All right? Um, it's another application for that. So this has been going on from the womb. You shouldn't have spoken arrogantly on a day of trouble, or entered the gate of my people on their day of calamity. No, you shouldn't have gloated over their suffering on their day of calamity, or laid hands on their treasures on their day of calamity. You shouldn't have stood at the crossroads to cut down their fugitives, or handed over their survivors on a day of trouble. For the day of Adonai is near for all nations. What? The day of Adonai, the day of the Lord, the day of judgment, the day of the great tribulation, as you did. For the day of Adonai is near for all nations. All nations. Don't gloat, mock, scoff people when calamity comes to them in any way, shape, or form. We can be grateful that Father's getting his victory, Yeshua's getting his victory, but we don't rejoice over it. Your dealings will come back on your own head. Over and over again, he says he's going to bring your sins back on your own head. For just as you have drunk on my holy mountain, so will all the nations drink in turn. Yes, they will drink and gulp it down, and be as if they had never existed. That is a big statement. They're going to be as if they never had existed. Um, but on Mount Zion, there will be a holy remnant, a remnant of Yehuda, a remnant of Yosef. Both walk as Jacob. The house of Jacob will repossess their rightful inheritance. That inheritance is Messiah, King of Kings, Melech HaMelechim Yeshua. The house of Yaakov, he is our great reward. The house of Yaakov will be a fire, and the house of Yosef a flame, setting a flame and consuming the stubble which is of the house of Esau. None of the house of Esau will remain, for Adonai has spoken. Those in Negev will repossess the mountain of Esau. I'm going to find Negev. Okay, so where you see this red dot under Beersheba, that is the Negev desert and semi-desert region of southern Israel. Okay, so it's read those in Negev will repossess the mountain of Esau. I'm looking at the and those in Shephelah, the land of the Philistine. So the Shephelah, okay, is right there next to those mountains. It's you see Jerusalem on the right, and Timnah and Beth-Shemesh on the left. And Shephelah is there in the middle. And then you got Philistia, Philistia over there on the left. Okay, let's go back. Those in Shephelah will repossess the land of the Philistine. Okay, and then it says they will repossess the field of Ephraim and the field of Shomron, the northern capital, the capital of the northern kingdom, Shomron. And Benjamin will occupy Gilad. So, Mountain of Esau. Okay, so, I was looking for Mount Esau. Excuse me. If I wait until I don't have a cough, I probably won't come on. So Mount Esau, also known as Mount Seir, is believed to be located in the region of Seir, which is in modern-day Jordan. It is situated southeast of the Dead Sea and is associated with the Edomites, descendants of Esau. The mountain range is known for its rugged terrain and has historical significance in the Bible, where it is mentioned in various places. While the location of Mount Sinai is arguably the most significant unresolved debate, meaning is this author says the borders of Edom and Seir. Click on it, see what they're saying. In the highlands of Sierra have actually led to a greater amount of confusion regarding where relocated events took place. The confusion stems primarily held about Edom and Sierra. That Sierra was located in the eastern side of the. Okay, I'm not gonna go all over all that. So I don't know. Mount Sierra. I should have looked at one. What I got here? Do I got Mount Seir? Yes, here is Mount Seir. Basra of Edom is just south of Selah. And Selah, if you don't know, means the rock. Okay? So when you're reading the Psalms and you see Selah, and it means to meditate on the word you're reading. However, it's got another application, another meaning, which is the rock. So every time you say Selah in the scriptures, you're basically saying Yeshua, because he is the rock. Okay, but anyway, that was a side note. So Selah, Mount Seir is right there. You got Jordan over here, where my arrow is. Petra at the bottom. Yeah, Israel over here on the left. Okay, so we understand these areas that's being talked about. See, and what we got for the field of Ephraim. The field of Ephraim, also called the forest of Ephraim, is a significant location in the Old Testament, most famously mentioned in 2 Samuel 18:6-8, as the site of a decision battle during Absalom's rebellion. against King David. The passage says, so David's army marched into the field to engage Israel in battle, which took place in the forest of Ephraim. So the forest devoured more people than the sword. So, brain, possibly brain, tribes. Okay, go on down. Location debate. The exact site is uncertain, but most Bible geographers placed it east of the Jordan River and Gilead, which is interesting because Gilead is mentioned here too. Uh, we're going to go back to Obadiah as we keep going through this. Um, not within the tribal territory of Ephraim, west of the Jordan. So this identification is supported by the rugged forest terrain of southern Gilead, the fact that Absalom's army was in Gilead before the battle, the name Ephraim possibly referring to the tribe's association with the region, even if the forest itself was outside its original allotment. Okay, let's go back to Obadiah. So, the field of Shamron, did I put that in there? I might not have. I had it and lost it. And Benjamin will occupy Gilead. So Gilead uh, is in Gad's territory. Gad, tribe of Gad. So the field of Ephraim is mentioned right before. So it's and the field of Shomron. Let me type that in. And then I lost it. Oh, I typed it in the wrong place. Make a new window. Uh, Field of Shomron on the map. Field of Shomron on the map. The Field of Shomron, also known uh, as Samaria. That's the English translation. But see, the problem, I just want to say, the people have completely misappropriated Samaria when it's talking about Shomron in the scriptures. It's talking about the capital of the northern kingdom, and a lot of people, say that all of Samaria is the northern kingdom, and that's just not so. I guess that was renamed Samaria, Judea and Samaria, but no, it's just because Omri purchased Shomron, and that's where his son Ahab set up his altars and his capital of wickedness. So it is a significant historical and geographical area in the region of Israel. It is bordered by Judea on the south, Galilee to the north, the Jordan River to the east, and the Mediterranean Sea to the west. The area is marked by archaeological sites and is featured in various historical and biblical contexts. For a visual representation of the field of Shomron on the map, you can refer to the interactive map provided by Bible Walks, which includes sites featured in the region. I want to know where the field is. Sorry. But I mean, I've got, right here, shoot, where that little star is, it says Samaria. That's, Shomron. I don't know where the field is though. It's good to have these visuals of these areas so we know what scripture is talking about and we don't just imply things and or skip over it. Either one. So back to Obadiah. So those in Negev will repossess the mountain of Esau, and those in Shephelah, the land of the Philistines, they will repossess the field of Ephraim, which could have been in Gad's area. But Absalom, we got the scriptures. It's in that area somewhere. And in the field of Shamron, wherever the field is in Shamron. So it's in Shamron, this field. And Benjamin will occupy Gilead. Let me go see if I can find specifically Gilead. But it's in Gad's inheritance. Gilead. Spell it right. Come on. Gilead. Yeah. On that. Gilead is a biblical region located east of the Jordan River, known for its fertile land and significant historical and spiritual symbolism. Biblical narratives, Gilead is frequently mentioned as a land of refuge and healing. It was divided among the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh. After the Israelites' conquest of Canaan. The region is often associated. I need its exact spot because that might not necessarily be right. I know I looked on the map and I know it's just specifically in Gad's territory. There's Gilgal. Sorry, I kind of doing this on the fly, uh, studying as we go, and I lost it. What did I just do? Okay, yeah. Let me find the good one that marks out like a place where I can see the territory. There we go. Yeah, right here. Gilead is right there in Gad's territory, right next to. Yep, it's in Gad's territory. All right, we got that. Back to Obadiah. So I think we got all the landmarks, and we're showing it. So we go on down. Those from this army of the people of Israel exiled among the Canaanite, as far away as Sarfat. And Sarfat, you know, you guys probably know, remember, might not watch him anymore because we know he's affiliated with Calvary Chapel and the Once Saved, Always Saved group. But Amir Sarfati, okay, is Judah and lives over in Israel, the land. And he does updates from there all the time. So there's his name right there, Sarfati, mentioned here. And the exiles from Jerusalem in Sepharad. That's where we get Sephardic Jews. That Sepharad is in Spain. Okay. So, and the exiles from Jerusalem in the Sephardic, will repossess the cities in Negev. So, the exiles that went from Jerusalem, exiles far away as Sarfat, and the exiles from Jerusalem and Sephar. So these specific areas will repossess the cities of Negev. Remember, Negev is back here, the first one. Okay. And then the victorious will ascend Mount Zion to rule over Mount Esau. But the kingship will belong to who? Kings, just the king. Yay. Okay, so um back to did I knock it off? That's not it. I think I did. I gotta go back to my YouTube channel. All right, and I gotta go back to a hobbit on me. Okay, so he does live stream update reports daily. So you check those out and about everything going on. But I'll put the link for a deer, the mystery of a deer and the coming of the Mashiach with Servant Shapiro. And I gotta put, I think, 3 links. The shocking F-35 code in the coming of Mashiach, the shocking date of the fall of Iran. See, he's got a book about Edom and the fall of Edom. So that's the point, is this is all starting to take place, okay? And a deer, you'll find out when you watch the videos, guys. So that's pretty much all I come on to say for right now. He gave it to me, so Yeshua's confirming the things that he's shown this brother. And I just love, see, this brother, he's from Israel, the land. He is Judah, clearly, but he's got a congregation in Korea. I think it's South Korea. Can't remember. But anyway, he's got a congregation in Korea. So he's got a heart for everybody, you know. He's teaching them all Hebrew. They sing in the Hebrew. They're doing everything that the Messianics are doing here. I'm not saying anything about the Messianic community in particular, like there's some Lebanon and everybody on in the Messianic community. So people get kind of, I don't care what people think. Anyway, so he's teaching the Koreans the Torah. All right, it's beautiful, and it's awesome. So I will put links in comments, and you can check out his videos and take it back to the Lord yourself. Of course, always go back to Father and Yeshua with everything. And we will come on later. Well, I will come on later and do a live stream, and I don't really schedule them because I'm still figuring everything out. So I kind of just do a spur of the moment, and we'll get back where we left off, going back into Elijah with chapter 17 of 1 Kings. And that's, real exciting to start watching Elijah through the scriptures as we learn together, being students of the rabbi, right? Yeshua. So that's it, guys. Stuff's happening. King's coming. He's coming. The Mashiach is coming. All right. Shalom.